I'm Michael Douglas. Welcome to Dr. Pundit, where we talk about music, not medicine, and some sad news on the Billy Joel front. We, at this channel, of course, if you follow this channel, you know how excited I was to continue to promote the fact that Billy Joel, who is 75 years old, would be hitting the concert trail this entire year and playing with the likes of Rod Stewart on some dates, Rod Stewart being 5 years his senior. Now, Billy Joel, as you know, has just had an incredible career. A lot of people, including myself, are looking forward to this concert tour just as a statement, an emphatic one on, his career. This is what he's accomplished, and he's still kicking it at 75. Well, today, Billy Joel announced that he has a medical condition called normal pressure hydrocephalus. Now, that basically means increased pressure within the brain, the ventricles of the brain. The ventricles are the areas of the brain where the spinal fluid kind of accumulates. And without getting into the weeds on this, if you have too much of this fluid, it can start to cause problems with cognition. It can cause incontinence. It can cause unsteadiness of gait. And this was probably the reason why Billy Joel fell on the stage a few months back. And I've talked about that in a prior episode of this show, one of his dates at Madison Square Garden. Now, a lot of outlets are calling normal pressure hydrocephalus a relatively rare medical condition. And as a physician, I can say that it really isn't. The epidemiology is a little bit more than what I would call rare. Epidemiology means the incidence of some disease in the overall population. And as a result of this diagnosis, Billy Joel took to his Instagram account to announce the cancellation of his upcoming tour. Now, the good thing about this disorder is that if you equalize the pressure that's in the brain to the area or the compartment outside of the spinal column, which is where in the central nervous system you have what we call cerebrospinal fluid that basically is within the brain, within the ventricular aspect of the brain, and down the spinal cord. So the brain and the spinal cord, the central nervous system, is where this fluid accumulates. And it's usually corrected surgically with something called a shunt or a ventriculoperitoneal shunt. All that means is that it's kind of a siphon that equalizes pressure between that ventricle part within the brain and the peritoneum, which is kind of the area that lines the abdomen. So it really doesn't drain the area in the cranium. It just equalizes pressure, provides a siphon for that extra pressure from the spinal fluid within the brain. On Instagram, Billy Joel's team wrote that the condition, quote, has been exacerbated by recent concert performances, leading to problems with hearing, vision, and balance. Under his doctor's instructions, Billy is undergoing specific physical therapy and has been advised to refrain from performing during this recovery period. Billy is thankful for the excellent care he is receiving and is fully committed to prioritizing his health. He is grateful for the support from fans during this time and looks forward to the day where he can once again take the stage. Billy Joel also added, "I'm sincerely sorry to disappoint our audience, and thank you for understanding." Again, per his post, Billy Joel canceled 17 of his tour dates, including the ones with special guests Sting, Rod Stewart, of course, and Stevie Nicks. Nonetheless, the music community is wishing Billy Joel well and all the best in light of this news. Let's all hope for a speedy and seamless recovery for Billy Joel, they say, because as much as we all miss him on stage, he will surely miss the stage just as much. I think that he'll recover quite nicely from this. At least we have a reason for, like I said, that episode where he fell on stage. Problems with gait and balance are a big effect of this condition. I'm Michael Douglas. If you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. Not the best news to talk about, but again, I think if anybody can get the type of care that I think most people desire in this country, it's always the rich and famous who are able to get that care in this country. I'm not getting political about it, but again, I think Billy Joel will do just fine with the appropriate therapies. As late great Barry White always used to say, let the music play, and I'll see you on the next episode.